The coolest part about being here is knowing that as you're here, you're building something, and like you can feel it in the walls here. People are actually trying to do something and push a needle with something, which is really cool. Hi, my name's Shemaya Anderson. My position here at the Y is a youth advocate for education and prevention. The cool thing about being a youth advocate is that we don't really have like a typical day. So it depends on if we're doing teen dating violence sessions on schools, campuses, right? That could look like getting to schools at like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., going first through fifth through sixth period. Or it could look like coming back here, doing survey data implementation, working on curriculum, making sure it's still trauma-informed but culturally accurate. It could look like doing our youth advocacy support groups after our adult support groups and making sure kids are having fun or playing Monopoly in the team space or like playing video games on Xbox, like just making sure our kids are always comfortable.
My name is Veronica. I'm a legal advocate, and one thing that I love about the YWCA is the support system that I have. The work is really hard sometimes, and I feel like my coworkers and like directors around here are really good about being there for support when I need it. So what I do is I help victims of domestic violence file things like protection orders, divorces, custody of children, spousal maintenance, things like that.
Being a youth advocate is remembering that kids are their own humans, right? They're gonna have their own experiences, and this world is literally theirs to create, right? And the things we already think to be fact or solid are truly malleable to them if we actually give them the information to allow them to mold it. The world is crazy and scary, and a lot of really awful things have happened, specifically when I get to talk to kids on campuses that look like me. Understanding that we don't need to shield them from big, bad, scary things, because us trying not to have these conversations is just minimizing their feelings about the things that they're already seeing and already experiencing.
Some of them often will come in like timid and just afraid, and I them be able to represent themselves in court, I think is huge sometimes, because they're speaking for themselves, they're speaking on their own experiences.
For me, I grew up in the South, and so seeing what resources actually exist here is it blows my mind every single day, right? I think about my students back home, especially the ones who have already graduated and are just existing in the world now, and the things that felt extra or we have to kind of circumvent or figure out how to help them survive are things that just naturally exist here at the Y. When I'm in classrooms, I still see so much laughter, and I still see so much joking and kids with just genuine interest and curiosity about how to be better people. They need us, right? They need us to not just let them exist in all of this, right? They need us to do better ourselves so that they can actually be better. That's what makes education and prevention so important. We tell all of our kids at the end of presentations, I hope you never have to see my face again. I hope you never need our resources. I hope everything you learned today will prevent you and make sure the first red flag you see, you can leave a relationship. But if you don't, if you find yourself in a position where you or your friends, or even we have kids talk about their parents, right, are stuck in a relationship, making sure that they know who they can reach out to, making sure they know who they can go to is super important.
Because that's what we need. This job is, a lot of work, and it's really hard sometimes, and that secondary trauma can be, really detrimental for some people. And so we just we heavily rely on each other for that support.
If you're gonna donate, it's understanding kind of like the boundaries that you're pushing, right?
Donors are a huge aspect. I think none of this work would be able to be possible without, the help of the donors, and it just keeps us kind of able to move forward and able to keep chugging along, as much as we can.
That's what donors do. They figure out, they help lessen what those stressors actually exist. They help lessen those boundaries for these things to actually, for people like me, for people like all of us to just show up and do what we're supposed to do and make sure that kids can see themselves.